Well, hey everybody. I was out here today and I was taking down the last of the stuff that I used to try to raise queens in this year. And I got to laughing at myself as I looked at everything I had accumulated over the last couple seasons. I had pretty big dreams, goals this year for queen raising, and they didn't really come out, but I thought what I would do, I would give you just my non-professional learning how to do this opinion of the different equipment that I've used over the last couple years. Give you the high spots and low spots, just my opinion. Whatever you ultimately choose and go with is up to you, but I'll give you my highs and lows for each piece of equipment. So the first one that I ever used this is a 4-way mini, so it's got 4 chambers. Uses these miniature frames, which you have to absolutely have to say are cute. What I liked about these were a few different things. I enjoy making it. I think you probably should have guessed that by now. I enjoy the wood shop aspect of beekeeping very much, almost as much as the beekeeping, maybe a little bit more. So this is a plan from Steve Tillman with the Michigan Beekeepers Association. He's got a great series of videos called In the Beekeeper's Workshop on YouTube. I actually have them linked to this channel, not for anything for me, but if you like me, you'll love them. These do work. They do work, and this one, I'll have to look and see, but I think this one permanently has the bottom on it. I have another one that is just like a regular box, so you could use it, and I have. You put it on top of a functioning hive, they'll draw them out, and the queen will lay in there, and then you can either run them through on the 4-way, or you can pull them into a single mini. I did not use them this season. I tried a couple times, it didn't work. They work, they do. Everything here I've used to raise at least 1 queen in. These work. Some things I don't like about them is that they're not a universal piece of equipment. So basically you either have to graft and put a queen cup on here, or you have to hope that your queen lays up, you pull it off, and they go into emergency queen mode. Another aspect that's a little bit challenging for these is basically you have 2.5 frames, and if you're at medium depths, which these are, challenge for resources there. You do have the ability to jar feed. This would go on to there, and you could feed it individually, and they can't get to each other's food or each other. It does work. More fun in the building than in the using, if we're being honest. This is an evolution, a progression. This is a single chamber mini, same frames, and this is what they look like when they get drawn out a little bit and used. So this one, it's got a little bit of damage, but you could do these if you don't have a full box. You could use a single mini. Nice thing about these is you can see it. They're tiny. You can still jar feed in the top, open, and then ventilate it in the back. You could take these anywhere. If you've got some challenges with birds like I do, maybe you can put them on the edge of the field once that queen's ready to hatch. That fell right on my foot. All right. You could put them somewhere more favorable, maybe a little bit less competition too. So same things about the 4-way minis. I do like these a little bit because they're a little bit more flexible. And when you work the 4-way mini that's now on the ground, there's a point where you have to open all 4 chambers. There are closure boards that you would build, just scrap plywoods, but when you work this colony, you're only opening this colony. So now we'll move into full frame queen castles. This is one that I just cobbed up together, and when I say cobbed, that means totally just cobbed. What it was a super old box that I had been given years and years and years ago, and it was fairly raggedy. By fairly, I mean very raggedy. I thought, well, nothing to lose here. So I built a 4x2, and this is capable of handling deep equipment. It's actually a little bit deeper than a deep, with some modifications. Does have the bottom board fixed onto it, and these metal coverings are just where the corners were so degraded. There was already metal on there, and I had to build up a little bit, but this was a fun challenge. This was fun to build because I had to use my head muscle. This does work. It's called a 4x2 because there's 4 chambers, 2 frames apiece. And honestly, I know a lot of the successful and commercial queen folks either use, 2 frame castles like this or single 2 frame boxes, and they're very successful. For me personally, this is where, this is just preference now. I was challenged by the interior frames, getting my fingers and hands in there and manipulating the frames up. I did use a frame gripper, which is buried up in the pickup now. A frame gripper did help, and this does work. It's got an entrance on each of the 4 sides. And again, you can jar feed, you can patty feed. I left enough of a gap on the top bars that you could feed a pollen patty as well. Nothing wrong with it. This one's cobbed up. It's probably going to be retired because I just really struggled with the 2 frame approach. So not a bad box, not a bad idea. If you want to really use your bare minimum resources, 2 frames. And I can't remember his channel. He's a very popular guy down in Georgia, and he loves the 2 frame, and I like his videos. He does a really good job. But just for me, the 2 framer was not good. What I do like about it is that it's full frame. And so more than one time this year, I found queen cells on frames already, and with this being full frame, it just lets you pull that frame out. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put a paint mark on it so I can come back and pull it out when I'm ready. If it's not capped, I'll wait till it's capped. And once it's capped, I'll grab that frame out, plop it right in there, maybe another frame of honey or something, and you'll have a queen with very easy to do. So I like the 2 frame for that. Being full frame, but for me it was a challenge that I'm probably not gonna use that one much anymore. All right, moving over to this one. This is called a 3x3. This one here, again, with the queen castles, the full framers, this has got a fixed bottom. It's made for mediums. It's a little bit deeper than a true medium. But it's got 2 entrances on this side. The other entrance is on the opposite side. I like that because I can stand on a blank side. Either side is blank, and work them. What I liked a lot about the 3 frame this year was I can get a frame out of there so much easier. Jar feed again. Was able, a little bit of a depth for patty. I did rabbit the tops in. And these ones here, well, frankly, the 4-way too, it's made to put another box on top just as a shim. And you can jar feed, no problem. This one worked. This was probably the most successful one this year. I think mostly because I used it the most. I'll show you here. So I could just write on there what I had going on. Queen right, QR, queen right. There's a couple different queens came out of this 3x3 medium. which brings me to my grand finale. So one of the benefits to messing around and trying different styles was I could land on what I liked the most and go that way. And for those of you that have been watching long enough, you know that I'm, to say thrifty is a nice way to say I'm very cheap. This box here actually cost me $3 in materials, I think, to build. Of course, I went to the Habitat for Humanity Restore and was able to get 3/4 inch plywood and 1/2 inch plywood. And that was all I needed, plus some scrap I had laying about the place. So this is a 3x3 deep. So no matter what frame I find a queen cell on, I can pop it out and plop it in here. The thing where, you know, you want to try to avoid mediums into a deep box. First off, you know, I don't really pay too much attention to that. Secondly, for a queen castle, it's not going to be a trouble because they're only going to be in there for a couple weeks. So I did make this one. I think I made it with a removable bottom, and the reason why, yeah, I did. What I found was on the fixed bottom queen castles, you get a lot of debris, probably debris for you, debris in the bottom, and you just can't clean it very well. So a couple things I did here. Drop my hive tool. This is a almost like a laminate countertop material I found at the store, and so I wanted to make a removable bottom so that I could really get it off and properly scrape it clean when it was dirty. And by dirty, I mean, you know, just regular hive detritus, also beetles and stuff. But a dirty hive is a hive that's target for a lot of pests. It gives them places to hide, so your beetles and your ants and your crawlers and everything else. So this is kind of the culmination of all the things that I liked about each of the boxes and none of the things that I didn't like that much. So of course it's full frame and it's deep. So again, I can fit 3 deeps if that's what I got. I can put 3 mediums, whatever, and it's not going to hurt anything. The sides are made out of that same kind of laminate material as the bottom, just for easy clean. Jar feet again, 3 chambers, 3 entrances, and obviously you see the yellow racing stripe, single entrance. Pink has a pink triangle on the side, and green has a green circle on this side for them to orient. Again, I would put a box on top as a shim. And so this in 2022, hard to believe, I already got to think about beekeeping 2022 now. This will be my go-to, followed by the green 3x3. I still really want those minis to work consistently. I just had trouble keeping bees this year, if we're being honest. Just literally had trouble keeping them. I can't point to one thing. I've been doing a lot of thinking and speculationing, but I think the minis can work if I can just keep some bees around the place. I've fluctuated anywhere from 1 to 10, and now I'm back to 2 here, and that's okay. You know, I don't make my living off of these. I don't even make money off of these, but I enjoy it. So I hope that was useful to you, and this is not, you have to do this or you shouldn't do that. This is a video maybe to help you find your own way as your backyard queen raising, like I was and still am trying. But anyway, a lot of plans available on the internet. I've got a few videos on how to build a few different, I think every one of these has a video except for the 4x2 and the new 3x deep. There's videos on how to build the single mini, the 4-way mini, and I got a video on this one called Building the Queen Castle. So always appreciate likes, always appreciate comments and questions, and if you think it's worth it, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this useful.